For the first race of this season, what can we do today with this McLaren Honda? We go to 5 red lights for Australia and we are off. Begun towards turn 1. Can we go down the inside of both of them? Good slipstream. Is he going to try and maybe make a move around the outside? Yes, he is, but we just stick it down the inside. He's gone horribly wide, so I think it might be a bit short-lived because you can see right now he's in the mirrors. He's getting the slipstream on the Sauber. Can we try and make a move on the right-hand side of the circuit, going side by side, squeezed onto the grass a little bit by Marcus, going down the inside. We make a diving move down the inside of Ricciardo, lock up on...
Built on a jungle swamp, Malaysia hosts one of the hottest races of the season. With a bumpy track and cockpit temperatures reaching 50 degrees, the Sepang circuit regularly pushes cars to breaking point. Will Stevens completed the team's first flying lap of the season, but it was over 10 seconds adrift of Nico Rosberg's time at the top. Rosberg was pushing hard in his Mercedes, but Lewis Hamilton had only done 4 installation laps when he brought his car to a halt at turn 9.
We've got Lewis Hamilton stopped on circuit.
There's a click in the rear, and the gears still worked, but I just pulled over and stopped as you told me to, but I would have made it back.
Yeah, Lewis, we just haven't got any telemetry, mate, so we are just a bit worried about this as it's a race engine.
Malaysia's one of the most demanding races on the calendar due to the severe heat, and high winds were also causing trouble for the drivers.
Let's just see what Felipe Massa's been doing. Ooh, getting it all a little bit out of shape. That's it, that sort of uphill mid right-hander, and it certainly didn't go well for him at all.
And it wasn't long before more of his colleagues were in action.
We've got a car off. It's one of the 2 Manor cars, and in fact it's Roberto Meri.
And as he basically brakes and turns in, loses the rear, spins round.
A rookie mistake perhaps to be expected from the Spaniard, but it certainly wasn't from a 4-time world champion.
And he's spun as well. He's exactly the same as Meri. He's not gone into the gravel, so it's a spin for Sebastian Vettel as he's come up into sector 3 there. Just lost the rear, got a bit of power oversteer, and then just kept it going. He's done a U-turn and he's on his way again.
But no one could match Rosberg's time. Sebastian Vettel was 3rd fastest, with Romain Grosjean 4th for Lotus. And there were encouraging signs for Fernando Alonso down in 14th, ahead of his McLaren teammate Jenson Button and the 2 Force Indias.
As we head into qualifying here in Kuala Lumpur, over the next few minutes we'll find out who's got pace in the car and who hasn't. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia, and I'm expecting another...
Hey there guys, Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2015 Career Mode with Jenson Button. We're back for the Malaysian Grand Prix here at Kuala Lumpur for part 2 of this Career Mode season. Now guys, thank you very much for the amazing response on episode 1. So great to see some of you guys loving that the editing is back, especially all the old subscribers. I can see a few of you around in the comments. Awesome to see that you're still sticking around, and I can try and reward you with the old trademark style on my channel with the editing and whatnot. So we're here for Malaysia. Another tough race. I don't know why I'm actually saying that, because all of them are going to be tough pretty much. So really we're just doing the usual business here in the McLaren. Low aero once more. I think we went for 3-1 wings again here at Malaysia. It's going to be a bit of a harder circuit, I feel, maybe, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a purpose-built circuit rather than Australia being, you know, a park for most of the year, then turn into a racing circuit for the Grand Prix. So we'll see how it goes. In real life, McLaren did step it up at Malaysia a tiny bit from where it was in Australia in real life, but then again, we did do much better in Australia than they did in real life with that. Obviously, 7th place. That was really, really awesome to see. Already got points on the board, which is amazing to see. And he's hoping that we can do it again. So we're here on the flying lap. You've seen there's quite a little bit of understeer here and there in the circuit. You know, trying to hit the apex is a little bit difficult if you're trying to carry a bit too much speed in this McLaren. So at the moment, our lap time is not too brilliant. You can see a 1:48, which is definitely not fast enough. You can see pole position right now is a 1:38.4, so we're going to have to do a bit more work right now. So we're in P6 at the moment, just gone to P7 as we're coming through onto the last few corners of our second flying lap, and we are definitely going to have to do better in standard mix at the moment, because actually I started to find out on this game that rich mix is not necessarily the fastest way around the circuit, really, because there's a little weird, I think it's a bit of a glitch really, that rich mix starts to really overheat your engine on this game, and then it drops a bit of RPM and kind of the speed it's going to give you on the straight. So in standard mix, into rich mix on the very last bit of the straight there, and we're up into P5 now with a 144, but that's still not going to be good enough. At the moment, we're fast forwarding here. At this point, I was actually thinking, hang on, we're in 5th place. This is not too bad, but a 144 is not anywhere near where we need to be. And as we come through onto the beginning of our flying lap on our third flying lap, you can see I'm down in 10th place. It's going to go even lower at the moment, so this has to be our best lap now. We've got 30 seconds left in this session, so we really have to pull out all the bells and whistles on this last lap. We're in rich mix at the moment. We're going to put it down to standard into turn 1, but this has got to be a good lap. Right now, at the end of the flying lap, we're in P15, so we've really dropped down on the grid order. But what is this going to be? We're going to come through. We've just got a little bit of time left in the qualifying session. This is going to be a 141, and that is going to be good enough for 10th place, so we couldn't get under the 140 mark, but that is going to be enough for a 10th place start here at the Malaysian Grand Prix, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty solid. 10th place in the McLaren, and we can try and get some solid points, hopefully, into the first few turns in the race start. But 10th place there, 2.6 off pole, so that's quite a lot of time. Again, like I noted in Australia, quite a lot of time to actually lose, but not too much down the pecking order, as there's quite a huge gap from the first 2 places. So now, here we are on race day for the Malaysian Grand Prix, round 2 of this season. Can we get another solid points paying position? That is obviously the goal. If you missed the last episode, I did say in that one that the goal is to get over 100 points in the season as a total. So right now, we are on track. If we just get another load of 7th place positions, we can finish with 100 points over. Fernando Alonso qualifying 16th. I'm in 10th place for this race. First time in that little starting grid animation in the top 10. What is this going to be? I think it's going to be a bit tricky, but let's go to the race. So here we are on the grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix in 10th place. We are psyching ourselves up for the start of this Grand Prix. 2-stop race, option prime, because as I said in the first episode, it is just not worth going on the prime tires in the middle stint. But enough of that. Let's go to those 5 red lights for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Round 2 of this season, we go to 4. Now 5 red lights, and we're off for the Malaysian Grand Prix. We get another shocking start. The Sauber is coming up on the right hand side. Alter the Red Bull there, and you can see in the mirrors your Fiat storming towards that turn 1. Grosjean also getting us the Honda engine, really not working well off the start so far on this season. We go right round the outside of Grosjean, trying to hang it round. Can we go down the inside of Grosjean? Yes, we can. There's been a bit of contact though. I think that's a Red Bull round of Ricciardo, and Ricciardo is round, and we're right behind Hulkenberg now as we go through to the next sector of the circuit. But let's look at a replay there. We stick it round the outside of Grosjean, and then there you can see on the inside Ricciardo just gets squeezed out into the apex. He probably should have backed out, to be honest, as we got towards the apex, as there was no room. I was sort of looking too much at Grosjean, but now we cut later on live back onto the Grand Prix. We're going side by side with Hulkenberg through this sector. Lovely racing here, side by side with Hulkenberg. Just about squeezed him out there, and looks like he's still going to try and stick it round, but looks like he's gone really deep because I can't even see him. There he is. He's gone way deep, and Grosjean's managed to get him. So really silly move there from Hulkenberg, trying to stick it so deep into the corner, and now he's lost 2 positions there to me and Grosjean. So we're up into 7th place in this Grand Prix. Fantastic stuff. Up ahead, we've got Lewis Hamilton leading the Grand Prix so far from Rosberg. I think that's from Massa, Bottas, Raikkonen, then Sebastian Vettel, and then there we are in 7th place as we come onto the back straight now. Grosjean right behind us, right up our chuff, and let's see what we can do right now. Going towards, you can see he's got much better straight line speed. That Mercedes engine in the Lotus now since 2015, working a treat, but we dive it down the inside to try and come back at both of these cars of Grosjean and Hulkenberg, and we've just managed to squeeze out Grosjean as we now go towards that turn 1 for the second time in this Grand Prix. Hulkenberg comes on the left hand side. He's going to get us. He doesn't even have DRS, and he's just got waltzed right past us. But into turn 1, can we dive it back down the inside of Hulkenberg? Yes, we can. What a lovely camera angle here it is for Malaysia. We're going to try and squeeze him out, and we have done, into the apex of the second turn, and we get back up into 7th place. Looks like Hulkenberg also being harassed by a Sauber below, and so it's myself in 7th place, then Hulkenberg, then the Sauber of Ericsson, I think that is, and then Grosjean, and then Nasser behind him. But 7th place at the moment in the Malaysian Grand Prix. You must say, having to do a lot of work to defend quite well from these guys. tyres in lap 2, but now we can't to lap 8 now. So right now it's been a pretty good stint in this Grand Prix so far. After those moves we had to make on lap 2, we just started to get away and get a bit comfortable in this Grand Prix. You can see Kvyat now has managed to come back ahead of all those cars, and now he's in 8th place. But now we can see on the right hand side we're setting our tyres. We're going to go for the option tyres, boxing this lap there, confirming then on the right hand side. So it's 7th place at the moment. We're going to box this lap for the option tyres. As I said, it's just not worth going on the prime tyres in the middle stint, unlike season 1 with the Ferrari, because the Ferrari had the pace to really go well on the prime tyres still, you know, and still be competitive, whereas the McLaren in this middle stage with higher fuel, the prime tyres are really going to work even worse than ever. So we're going to go into the option tyres and just go for the fastest tyre we can every single time, and just go on the slowest tyre right at the end. I think that will be pretty much the strategy for the entire season, I feel, unless we have some surprising pace somewhere, which I really can't think of anywhere apart from maybe Monaco, but we'll come to that later on in the season, of course. But we come out of the pits now. We can see Hulkenberg and I think both Lotuses in the pits there as well. So joining us there, I thought I would do a little undercut on the Red Bull. So it looks like both Red Bulls have stayed out, so they might be double stacking, which would be a bit stupid of them, but hey ho, we've seen that many times this season. I think they really need to patch that in. The AI do double stack way too much in this game. But we're on lap 9 in 9th place at the moment. You can see Bottas ahead by 14 seconds. He hasn't pit yet, I don't think. So already the kind of gap is quite large to the pack ahead, but also we're gaining a bit of a gap to the pack behind. So we're in a very awkward position this season, I feel, unfortunately, that I'm, you know, in the race, you know, later on is the race, I am faster than the pack behind me in some of the parts of the stints, especially on fresh tyres, but I'm not fast enough, nowhere near fast enough to gain on the pack ahead. So it's a very awkward position for me to be in, where I'm just kind of doing my own race almost. So very much like maybe the McLarens of real life, just doing their own pace, racing to a delta, just trying to have very consistent running on the tyres, doing pretty much time trial laps, just trying to be very consistent and fast and just kind of save the tyres as much as I can. On to lap 11 now. You can see we did get up into 7th place, so thankfully we didn't lose any positions. That's always the worst nightmare when you're in a slower car, that you pit early trying to get the undercut and you actually lose a position, but thankfully we haven't. And now into the middle part of the stint on the option tyres. Really, you can see, just going about my business. We got no cars around us, just really pushing hard, trying to get the most out of this car we can, being consistent, trying to hit every apex we can with this understeering McLaren. And on to lap 17 now. We've done a good job. We've really got a nice gap to Kvyat behind us. Not too big, but it's big enough to be a bit comfortable. And we've come to the pits now to lap 17 for our last option, for our last pit stop for the prime tyres. About to say options, but onto the prime tyres, the orange wall tyres. So hard tyres, they're not going to be amazing. I'm not going to lie, on this game, I'm not really feeling the hard tyres. I really haven't gelled well with these orange wall tyres. They just take way too long to heat up, in my opinion, and it's just very difficult. But I guess that's very realistic to real life. The hardest tyre, you would expect that to happen. So we're coming out in the pits now, and right now behind us on track, we can see a Toro Rosso and Force India in the pits, and also a Lotus there. You can see down the pit straight, no one near us. So once more, I think we're going to be a bit by ourselves until everyone else makes their pit stop. So we'll see how that goes. Going to have to push hard, and hopefully these tyres, you can see on the graphic there, very, very blue, rock hard blue there. We're going to have to hope they heat up soon so we can try and get a good undercut on the cars around us and try and gain some time on them. But now we come to lap 19 now. We're back in 8th place at the moment. I think Kvyat is yet to make his pit stop at the moment. We can see Bottas in 7th place there at the moment. So Kvyat is still ahead of Bottas. So I think Bottas may have made his pit stop already, but now he's... Whoa, Bottas has gone down to 8th, and we're in 7th place now. So what on earth has happened to Bottas there? Looks like Bottas sort of dropped out of this Grand Prix. So we're looking at a replay now of Bottas. So he's coming through on the back straight just a few moments before we got there, and then the replay camera just cuts out. And so we have to look at a replay from the Sauber, and we can see the car behind is Bottas, and look at that. He pulls across to the circuit, retiring. I think he must have some sort of engine failure or ERS failure, massive failure there, as he's gone out of the Grand Prix. So drama here at the Malaysian Grand Prix with 8 laps to go. We're up to 6th place now, thankfully, because of Bottas. So that has completely worked in our favour. And finally, we've got some luck in this Grand Prix and in this season so far. That means we can gain one more position. But now to lap 23, we've got Ricciardo coming up with the DRS surely, and he's going to try and make a move on us for 6th place, trying to steal our well-earned 6th place with some luck there. We're going to try and go right around the outside. You can see the brake disc glowing really magically on the last corner there as we go right around the outside of Ricciardo, actually getting some really nice grip there right on the outside. But now Ricciardo's going to come back at us, but we've got DRS, you can see, so that's helping us quite a lot there. We've managed to get DRS off Ricciardo, and that's meant we're still going side by side by turn 1. We don't have to dive it down the inside, we just brake quite normally, try to squeeze him out, quite aggressive there, trying to squeeze him out, much like Vettel did on Webber back in 2013, very aggressive on squeezing him out there, and we're still in 6th place now, and that was a very, very crucial move, probably the biggest crucial move of the entire race to defend, because we're going to come through now on lap 28 for 6th place in the Malaysian Grand Prix. What another result, and that is another big points paying position here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. That is awesome, and Jenson once more happy to see him cheering on there at the end of the race. 6th place, and so that will be 8 very well earned points there. Very, very tough race, a lot of defending had to do, especially in the first part of the race, but we have come through in 6th place. Our teammate in 13th, disappointingly, but that is going to mean we have 14 points in the championship, which is amazing to see that we're ahead of the likes of Bottas, Ricciardo and Kvyat, and we're still, well, we've gone down from 4th to 5th in the Constructors because the Red Bulls overall had a much stronger race there. We're all both in 14 points, so as I said at the beginning in the first episode, that will be sort of our goal, maybe to finish in 5th of the Constructors, and in the Drivers, as I said, well, I just want to try and get over 100 points. That would be amazing. We've got 14 so far, so we must say very, very much on track so far, so hopefully we can have another good set of races coming up, and I'm really looking forward all the way to Monaco, because that's going to be a big points paying position race, you must say, because of just the amount of downforce that you need at Monaco. No straight line speed there. But if you did enjoy this episode, guys, at Malaysia, be sure to smash that like button, guys. It'd be absolutely awesome. We could try and aim for over 3,000 likes once more on this second episode, guys. If you did enjoy that, again, also comment below what you thought. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for daily Formula 1 content. I've been aarava. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.